Okay, I really want to make this next what if. Where we last left off, 40 contestants defected from 4 and joined 2's cause. And instead of leaving to another vocation, 2 teleported 4's crew to the Pillory Ruins. Anyways, here are the 14 4 loyalists. Fiery, Woody, Teardrop, Spongy, Bubble, Flower, Ice Cube, Blocky, Leafy, Balloony, Ruby, Taco, Gelatin, and Loser. Ice Cube replaces Lollipop in the Have-Cots. Battle for BFB, Episode 17. X marks the spot. Everything would be the same, but without the paint shenanigans because Lollipop is not here. And the Have-Nots still win, so the Have-Cots still lose. Ice Cube is the 5th person safe, so Balloony is still eliminated. Battle for BFB, Episode 18. Take the Tower. Not much changes this episode, so the Have-Nots still lose and Spongy is eliminated. Battle for BFB, Episode 19. How low can you grow? Ice Cube has a flashback to IDFB1 and extinguishes X like how she did to extinguish Woody, but the Have-Cots still lose. Ice Cube is the 2nd person safe, but the results are different from canon.
Take out stick.
The first contestant safe is Bubble, then Ice Cube, then surprisingly, Ruby, and finally Teardrop, so now it's down to Leafy and Gelatin. It would be a 150 vote difference, but the last contestant safe is Leafy. This elimination drastically differs from canon. Battle for BFB, Episode 20. A Taste of Space. The 20th contest is unnecessary, so we'll take the 22nd contest and put it here. And NeverButter promises to reveal the reason why later. As is seen in post-revival BFDIA, Ice Cube is shown to be intelligent. The rest of this episode plays out like how episode 22 would in the canon episode, so the Have-Nots still lose and Loser is eliminated, but in the bottom 2 with Flower. Battle for BFB, Episode 21. Let's raid the warehouse. With Ice Cube and Ruby replacing Lollipop and Gelatin, Bubble went to shop with Ice Cube and Ruby on then Teardrop and Gelatin. Not much still happens, so the Have-Nots still lose, but this time, Flower is eliminated. Battle for BFB, Episode 22. Who stole Donut's diary? Apparently there are actual plans for this episode to be like BFB 29. Taco will be the voice of reason for the Have-Cots, but they all ignore her. It is unlikely that Blocky would help a little. Teardrop and Ice Cube, however, would come up with something more beneficial easily. But because of Blocky's popularity, the Have-Nots win. Ice Cube is the 2nd person safe, but Ruby ends up in the bottom 2. The Alliance would have to split votes, making them both unlucky. But the last contestant safe is Ruby, so Bubble is still eliminated. Battle for BFB, Episode 23. Glitter for your face. Without Gelatin, 4 is not ordered to his scheme of death, and without Flower, the trampoline is not pushed out of the way. And because of this, the Have-Cots would not be inside Purple Face. They would just go to Yellow Face's warehouse and grab the stuff they need for Teardrop's plan, but Blocky still fails at the trampoline. Taco tries to be the voice of reason again, but doesn't come up with a solution. The Have-Cots would get up to 4, Teardrop tries to dismantle the cage, but discovers the same thing that Gelatin does and wins the challenge. Originally, the order of first safe to eliminate was Fiery, Woody, Flower, Blocky, but for some reason, the results differ drastically from canon again.
I ain't giving up. I think I'm gonna give up.
Surprisingly, the first contestant safe is Woody, and then Blocky, so now it's down to Taco and Fiery. Taco is boring, and Fiery is irrelevant. This will be close, but the last contestant safe is Fiery. Looks like people don't want to see another BFD veteran go. Battle for BFB, Episode 24. The game has changed. Teardrop would not make a party to be apologetic to Gelatin. Leafy has to make a party herself without Flower. And Ruby and Ice Cube would have to work on both of their parties. Blocky and Woody both make prank-related parties. Fiery still makes the water lava Ferris wheel. And the winner of the contest are Leafy and Teardrop. Because Leafy has a prank party, she has to choose someone else to also be immune. And that person is Fiery. The first contestant safe is Blocky, and so is Ruby, so now it's down to Woody and Ice Cube. Ruby has to split votes with Blocky, and Ice Cube has to split votes with Ruby. But the last contestant safe is Woody. So the odd one out is eliminated. Battle for BFB, Episode 25. The Twisted Temple. Woody and Leafy still get Toast Totems and Teardrop still wins immunity. And through Anna's election, the 2nd person to win immunity is Ruby. The first contestant safe is Leafy, and so is Blocky, so now it's down to Woody and Fiery. Fiery is still irrelevant, and Woody has to split votes with Blocky. It's a tough call, but the last contestant safe is Fiery. So the Scaredy Cat is eliminated. Battle for BFB, Episode 26. The Hidden Contestant. The methods of the 4 other contestants are lackluster, so Leafy still wins immunity. The voting would be a crazy vote battle that almost ends in a 4-way tie, a 250 to 300 vote gap, between the first person safe and the eliminated contestant. The first contestant safe is Teardrop, and so is Ruby, so now it's down to Blocky and Fiery. Both of these will be divided by 10 votes, but the last contestant safe is Blocky. And just like that, the winner of Season 1 is eliminated. Battle for BFB, Episode 27. Uprooting Everything. Ruby and Teardrop tag along just like Fire and Teardrop did, but without that betrayal. Blocky would do his own thing, and Leafy would still throw stuff at the oven's glass. But Teardrop still wins immunity. The first contestant safe is Blocky, so now it's down to Ruby and Leafy. Leafy did a lot of mean stuff, and Ruby is uninteresting. This will be a close vote, but the last contestant safe is Ruby. After missing all chances for a rejoin, BFB's only valid rejoiner is eliminated again. Battle for BFB, Episode 29. SOS, Save Our Show. Any of the final 3 could win, but the last contestant to win is Blocky. Because there are 2 people up for elimination, only one of you will be safe. And that person just so happens to be Ruby. And so the last contestant who is still here in canon is eliminated. Battle for BFB, Episode 30. Chapter complete. Episode 29 would be the same as in canon, but with a bunch of changes. By a contestant vote, Ruby would win by a vote of 8 to 5, courtesy of Balloony, Gelatin, Bubble, Ice Cube, Profile, Fiery, Leafy, and Teardrop. And coincidentally, the winner of the competition is Ruby. Even after just over a year, Part 3 about the Teapot episodes was never released. NeverButter's next what if is technically not a what if. It's BFB, but whoever NeverButter would have voted is eliminated, which I might do in a different layout. And the next what if I'm going to go over is what if BFB 21 was a viewer vote.